When you go back to my very first video, I will post a link to that very first video where I said I have made the decision to sign up for the Course Careers Tech Sales course. I'm going to get me a tech sales job.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it.
What's going on, guys? It's your girl Tech Job Tina signing in. Man, today we're just gonna really talk about updates that I have, announcements that I have, and I really just want to talk about the channel and just my journey and everything like that, right? So, man, I was looking at the calendar and time flies so quickly. I'm approaching 1 year since I started this YouTube channel. I started this channel March 2023. And I started it before I broke into tech. In fact, I started it before I'd even signed up to take the tech sales boot camp by Course Careers, right? So I basically set out on this whole mission to break into tech, not really knowing exactly what that would look like or how long it would take or just having no idea, just totally just deciding to just take the leap and just try to do what I can do to reach my goal, right? And one of the things, man, I want you guys to never underestimate is the power of your words, man. And I'm talking about the power of your words, verbal and written, right? So for those of you that have been following my journey since the beginning, you've heard me constantly speaking over this channel what the desires of my life are, what the desires of my life are as far as my career and finances and where I want to be and what I want to do and things like that, right? So when I started on this journey, I really made up my mind that I was going to achieve what I set out looking for. If you go back to some of my earlier videos, actually my very first video, one of the things that I said was, I've made the decision. I'm going to sign up for the tech sales course offered by Course Careers, and I'm going to get me a tech job. That's what I said, right? Not having any idea how it was going to lay out, not having any idea how long it was going to take, just not knowing, right? But I knew that I was going to do it, right? And those were powerful words, right? And I meant every word of it, right? And even after I signed up for the course, I still continued to speak those positive words over myself. I continued to kind of just really pour into myself, right? Because I had these goals, right? And I had things I wanted to accomplish. Things in my life needed to change. And one thing about change, if you really want change in your life, you have to understand that nothing changes until you change, right? And I understood that. And it was time for change, right? And a lot of times there's a lot of fear associated with changing, right? We live our lives in these comfortable little bubbles. You get used to your routine. You know what's what. There's nothing new. There's comfort in that, right? But the thought of making a change, stepping into an area you know nothing about, stepping outside of your comfort zone, I'm gonna be real with you. This shit's scary. It is scary, right? And I assure you, every day there are people out there who have achieved phenomenal success in their lives. But understand, when you see them and they look successful and they look like they're winning, please understand how much fear they had to overcome to get to that point. Understand, they had to overcome a lot of obstacles to get to where they are, right? And we all don't see that backstory. A lot of times we don't know what people went through to get to where they are. But I can assure you this: every successful person that you know, every successful person on TV or whether you read about them in a book or a magazine, or whether it's somebody you know personally in your life, that person has been met with fear, right? Because it's normal, right? You just don't want to allow the fear to paralyze you You just don't want to allow the fear to keep you from living your, best life, right? You have to learn to do it scared. You have to keep moving forward even when you are scared. And that is what I did, right? This whole journey, I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know what was going to be what, but I knew that I needed to move in order to change my life, right? I had to. I could not afford to stay where I was at. I had to do something different, right? And so that's basically what I did. So when I signed up for that tech sales course, I said to myself, I'm going to get a tech job, right? And I kind of go back to when I was doing my research and I was kind of watching testimonials and doing all this. And I remember one of the people that did a testimonial, I remember they said, I finished the course in 2 weeks and I landed a job in less than 30 days, right? So when I heard that, I was like, it was game on for me. I was like, say less. I was like, run the play, put me in the game, coach. It is time to go, right? So I sat out on my own goal. I said, well, shoot, if she can do it, I can do it, right? I'm going to get this course done and I'm going to get me a job. 30 days. I need to get it done, right? And I put those powerful words out there in the universe, right? And you know what happened? I finished that course and I got my first tech role offer within that 30-day period. Why? It wasn't just about me putting it in the universe, as people like to say, manifesting, right? Which manifestation has suddenly become this word that's been thrown around so much is almost very cliche now, right? But understand, when you manifest, it doesn't mean you're just saying to the universe, okay, universe, I want $1 million, and you just sit back and wait for the universe to drop it in your lap, right? There's work to be done, right? Manifestation takes action as well, right? Because faith without works is dead, right? So yes, I put these powerful words out into the universe, but you know what I also did? I put action with my words, right? I signed up for the course. I bust my butt. I did not have no excuses. I studied every day of the week, right? Every day of the week. I paced myself. I knew, okay, Tina, if you want to get this course done within a 2-week time frame, I'm breaking it all down. It's going to require you to get through this amount of lessons per day, which means you're going to have to put in X amount of time per day in order to meet your goal, right? And that's the way I am. I will reverse engineer something to death because I'm trying to figure out, I like to know what my steps are. I need measurable steps. That's the way my brain works, right? I break everything down like that, right? Doing the same thing in my SDR role, right? I want to achieve Z, I must do X plus Y to get there, right? So I finished the course, got that first tech sales role offer letter within those 30 days. I got into that role, and once again, I was scared. I was fearful, but I did not allow that to paralyze me. I did not allow that to keep me from moving forward, right? So I went into the role, open-minded, ready to learn, right? Not afraid to seek out the best performers on the team and learn from them, right? And do what I needed to do to put myself into a top performing seat myself, right? Went through all that, right? Power in your words, right? Both verbally and written, right? So not only when you go back to my earlier videos and I'm telling you, this is what I'm going to do. This is what my plan is. I'm going to have this done by this time. By this time, I should be doing this. And by this time, I should be doing that, right? Not only to hold myself accountable, but because I believe there is power in your words, both verbally and written. And the written part, I keep a diary or a journal. Y'all can call it what you want. But this is my daily journal, right? Right here, right? I started this when I started on my Breaking the Tech journey, right? Before that, I was not much of a person that wrote things down. Every once in a while, when I was feeling down or whatever, I would maybe write something down. Years ago, I used to write poetry, right? And then years ago after that, I got into music, thought I wanted to be a rapper. I was doing all that. So I was writing music, right? And what I remember during that time frame when I was writing that music, how therapeutic it was to get your thoughts on paper, right? And somewhere along the line, I fell away from that. I went through some loss in my life and some sadness, and I kind of pulled away from music writing. I pulled away from music altogether, and I just never really went back to it. I was off and on. Sometimes I write my thoughts down, sometimes I wouldn't. I go months or sometimes years without ever writing anything in a notebook, right? So I started back making this a part of my routine, and now every day I write something in my journal, right? Because this right here is just as powerful as your verbal words, writing it down, right? Now, put a 1 in the comments if you are someone that keeps a daily journal. And if you don't, I definitely advise that you do. Excuse me. What it does for me is this is like my therapy, right? When I'm going through something good, bad, or ugly, I can write it in this journal, and I feel like I have let it out, right? It's the equivalent of how some people go to therapy and they talk to their therapist, right? This book is my therapist, right? Anything I'm feeling, good, bad, or ugly, I write it in here and I get it out, right? And there's power in this. Not only am I writing about my day, I'm also writing letters to God, right? I pray 2 ways, right? I pray verbally, which is what most of us do, right? Whether it's verbally inside your head or verbally outspoken to God. But I also pray with my written words. I write letters to God all the time, right? I write my prayers down to God all the time, right? So I do that in that book as well. So if you don't have a diary or a journal, I encourage you to start one, because it is an amazing way to get your thoughts and your feelings and even your prayers out and onto paper, right? And so I'm bringing all this up because I want you to understand how serious I was on this journey, right? I've sat out on plenty of journeys in the past, and in retrospect, when I look back, I realized I wasn't really as serious as I thought I was, right? And I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate to that, where you're like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you're saying all these things you're going to do, but your actions don't really match up to what you're saying, right? But this time, no, my actions are matching up to what I'm saying, right? And the difference is crazy, right? The difference that I see now is it's crazy different from when I was setting out on journeys before, right? Now things are changing. Things are changing because I am changing, right? Things are changing because I'm punching fear in the face and I'm doing it scared, right? Things are changing because I am forcing myself outside of my comfort zone, right? So let's talk about this career talk, right? Took the tech sales course, finished it, landed an offer for my first role in less than 30 days, right? I started that tech role May last year, right? By the time July rolled around, I was already talking about promoting to AE, right? Now, did I have a formal offer for a promotion to AE? No, I didn't have a formal offer. But you know what? It was part of my plan, and I set out to do it, right? So if you go back to my earlier content when I started the Becoming AE series, and you'll see the date on that very first video, I sat out early on, man. I'm barely 3 months into a brand new SDR role, into a brand new industry, into tech, period, right? This is all new to me, right? But I am setting goals already, right? So here I am 3 months into this entry-level SDR role, and I'm like, look, I'm becoming AE. Ain't nobody offering me no AE role. That's all right. I'm becoming AE, right? It's gonna happen, right? And so I say all this to say that, again, there is power in your words, right? One of my favorite authors, I want to share this with you, Brian Tracy. And I've talked about him before on my channel. He is one of my favorite authors and motivational speakers, right? And I advise you, if you don't know who he is, look up Brian Tracy on YouTube. Go to Amazon. He's got some amazing books, 2 really great books of his that I absolutely love. He's got a book called The Universal Laws of Success and Achievement. That is an amazing book. There is an audio version of that book on YouTube. I will put a link to it in the description. But it is a book that is so good. I promise you, it is worth having a hard copy of that book. But if you're someone that likes to drive around and listen to your books, there is an audio version on YouTube. I will share that link in the description, right? So he's got that book that is really good. He's got another book. It's called Maximum Achievements. That is also very good. And in that book, Maximum Achievement, he talks about this universal law of expectation. It's called the universal law of expectation, right? And that law states that whatever you expect in full confidence becomes your own self-fulfilling prophecy. And I'm going to say it again. The law of expectation states that whatever you expect with confidence becomes your own self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So think about that for a second, because this law, it is true for good, is also true for bad, right? So when I think about that law, I think about the way I approached this journey, and I pretty much was telling myself what my expectations are, right? When you go back to my very first video, I will post a link to that very first video where I said, I have made the decision to sign up for the Course Careers Tech Sales course. I'm going to get me a tech sales job. Expectation, right? Self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Got a tech job, right? Next expectation. I'm going to be AE. I'm becoming AE. Did a whole series. Nobody offered me no role or nothing, right? But I got a series for y'all. Becoming AE, right? Expectation. Self-fulfilling prophecy, y'all. Wednesday last week, Tech Job Tina signed her offer letter to become AE starting in February. I'm AE, y'all. I got the account executive role. Why? I expected it. I worked at it. I had made my mind up that it was going to happen. And that's just it, right? You can call it manifestation. You can call it whatever you like. But I'm telling you, I set a goal. I stuck to it. I was not playing, and I achieved what I set out to achieve. And I say all that to say to you, you can do anything that you put your mind to. That's not just some little saying they tell the little kids growing up. That is real talk, right? So some of you have dreams and hopes and ambitions. Don't doubt yourself, right? You can do it. Put a plan together, act on that plan, and don't let nobody knock you off of that plan, right? You need laser beam focus, and you can achieve it. Now, here I am today. Everything I said I was trying to do, and I announced on this channel, I've been writing in my journal. I've been writing letters to God, right? Power in your words, both verbal and written, right? So I say all that to say this. If you got a goal, you got a dream, you have ambition, do what you got to do to get there. Nothing changes until you change, right? So, man, I am so excited about this new opportunity, but I am also scared, right? And it's okay, because you know what? I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to go in with the same attitude I came in when I started the SDR role. I was scared then too. I didn't know what to expect. I came in with an open mind, willingness to learn, the willingness to get it done, the willingness to do what I had to do to be a top performer, right? The same is going to hold true here, right? Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not, right? I'm a realist. I already know whenever you're trying something new, until you get the hang of it, until you get into your groove, until you become acclimated, it sucks, right? I am prepared to embrace the suck, right? I'm not going to let fear hold me back. I'm just going to go in here with a positive attitude, open mind, willingness to learn, seek out the best in the areas that I want to be good in, you know, be real with what my weaknesses are, where I need to be strong at, what I need to work on, where I need to sharpen my saw, right? And understand the road is not going to be easy, but it will be worth it, right? So I'm going to put the work in. I'm going to read the books, listen to the podcast, watch the videos, get a coach, right? Tech Job Tina is looking at coaches for this role. Why? Because I don't want to get in here and be mediocre, y'all. One thing about me is, look, I don't have to be number one all the time, but I damn sure don't want to be on the bottom, right? That is my attitude. I don't have to be number one, but I damn sure don't want to be last, right? I don't even want to be close to last, right? Tech Job Tina want to be close to the top. If I can't be the top, let me be close to the top, right? And I understand that it's going to take work in this particular role to be close to this top, and I am prepared to do what I have to do to make that happen. So like I said, y'all, I'm extremely happy. Tech Job Tina has been promoted to account executive. January is the last month I will be wearing this SDR cap. I'm going to take it off, put on my AE cap in February. So this upcoming week, well, by the time you guys see this video, I will be in my last week as an SDR. But it's on, y'all. And of course, just like before, I've got plans and I've got things I want to achieve. And I will be speaking those things into existence, both on this channel and both in my journal. Hey, Brian Tracy said, law of expectation. Whatever you expect with confidence will become your own self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Speak confidence in your life when it comes to being able to achieve your goals. You are smart enough. You are good enough. You are capable to achieve all those things that you want, all those things that you're thinking about in your mind. And maybe you're too afraid to pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. You can do it, right? Because I promise you, what's on the other side of that fear, what's on the other side of that uncertainty, what's on the other side of that doubt, it's going to be worth it. So stop kicking your goals down the street. Stop kicking your ambitions, your wants and desires for your life down the street. Stop pushing it off for another day. Today is the day, y'all. Whatever it is you want to do, go do it. Don't let nobody stop you, not even yourself. You have to get out of your own way and go after what you want. So that's all I got, y'all. I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. Formally announced that I have gotten the account executive promotion at my company. I will be an account executive February the 1st. I'm looking forward to the challenge. I know it's not going to be easy. I'm prepared to embrace the suck, do what I got to do to get to the top, y'all, once again. So that's all I got, man. I appreciate you guys rocking with me. Peace and blessings. We on to the next chapter. This officially closes the Becoming AE series. Got a new series now, y'all. I don't know what I'm going to name it yet, but Becoming AE, the series, that chapter is closed. A new chapter begins. That's all I got, man. Y'all take care. Peace and blessings. I'm out. Bye. I came to the conclusion that, you know what? Course Careers is for me. I'm signing up today. I'm doing the tech sales, and I'm about to get me a job and break into tech. And I will be documenting that on my new channel called Tech Job Tina. Stay tuned.